back to Millville, Minnesota. Ricky Carmichael, one more win in the books. Can he make it 20 in a row? Get one moto closer to that perfect season. Taking a look at our Suzuki starting lineup: Carmichael, Ferry, Lusk, Tortelli, all the principals. Kyle Lewis, not in the top 5 of that last moto, had some problems early on. Further down, you see Ryan Clark with the Solitaire team, Moto Triple X's Nick Way. Evan Lockridge finished 18th in that first moto, got himself some national points, maybe even a top 100 number next year. Now, the card is about to go sideways, and the gate is going to drop. The second moto from Spring Creek Motocross Park is about to get set. And there they go. Steve Lamson on the inside. He gets muscled out right there. And right up the middle, once again, it's a Honda, but this time it's Nathan Ramsey out front. Dowd uses that sweeping line around the outside. Carmichael is about third, and one rider is down in the first turn, and just like that, Carmichael already out front.
You cannot take your eyes off this guy for a second or something's going to happen. That's what happened. Our camera guy was checking out to see who was down in the first corner, and bam! Carmichael into the lead. Before Ramsey even knows what hit him, he's already looking at a little bit of a gap.
Once again, LaRocco and Sebastien Tortelli, not very good starts. They are mired back there in the pack. You just caught a glimpse of Tortelli, but Carmichael, it's like a replay of the first moto, isn't it?
Exactly. Except for he didn't reach for a tear-off right there.
Probably wasn't in the playbook. I mean, we heard Ricky talk about the start of the first moto. He knew from a year ago that John Dowd was going to come up on the outside.
Oh, he studies all of this stuff. And you know what? In case he misses anything, he's got Cliff White over there, Eric Kehoe, who's been a racer, and Jeff Stanton, to remind him of all these things. And most of the time, Ricky already knows, but they got their things running right over there.
Like you said, visualizing the track and visualizing himself out front. There's Ramsey in second, Lusk is third, Ferry comes through your picture, and they are starting to spread out from the rest of the pack themselves. Ramsey, of course, the runner-up in the first moto. Lusk finished fourth, and Tim Ferry finished sixth. You see Ramsey down through the double jumps, trying to keep a hook at Ricky Carmichael. Kyle Lewis was a fifth-place rider.
Ferry did a nice little job there to correct that mistake. Went up over the berm, but never let off. Got right back on the power to stay in contact with the saddle. You've got to stay with Lusk and Ramsey right here and keep the pressure on. That's the best time to attack a guy, is early in the race when you've been sitting around all that time. And if you haven't warmed up properly, man, it's just tough to get into the flow right away in the early laps. It's a good time to make your pass or attack everybody the way Ricky does.
And how much does a track like this change? They get one parade lap before they go out, but sometimes if you attack, you pay the price. You hit a bump that wasn't there before.
Yeah, but these guys all know. And it's a little bit harder for the new guys like Evan Lockridge, who's running pretty well right here in this race. He got a good start. Or in the 125 class, Chad Reed and James Stewart haven't raced here before, so they don't know the tendencies of this racetrack, although they have studied it on video. These guys, they should know what's probably going to happen to the track, and after that lap, they should really know what's going on out there and not miss it in their first couple of laps.
See Ferry trying to get a wheel inside of Lusk as they work their way through the whoops. Ramsey out front. There goes Ferry around the outside, and he just held it on it.
Yeah, he had a good look at that coming out of the corner. He went wide, took his time. It's one of those slow down to go faster deals, and Lusk tried to come out of the corner and protect that position.
And quickly, Ferry gets right up on Nathan Ramsey in one lap. Actually, one section of the track, David, he went from fourth to second. That's that aggressiveness you were talking about.
And that's what he needs. That's what Ricky does to everybody. So Ferry's got that in his back pocket. Now what he needs to do is keep going on that adrenaline and that pump of being able to get around a couple of guys like that and go, okay, I'm in the flow, I'm going fast, I'm pulling away from these guys, let me go catch Ricky.
Just caught a glimpse of Carmichael going down the opposite side of the hill. He's got a nice gap on second, third, fourth, and they in turn have a nice gap on everyone else. Here's the pass.
Well, Ezra didn't have as nice of a drive coming out of the corner. He dropped down into a couple of the wrong bumps. And Ferry just had a little bit more of a plan there, and he just seemed determined to make that pass. And while he was on a roll, hits this jump a little bit faster, throws the foot off the front of the peg. I don't know what that does, but James Stewart does it, so all these guys do it now. And then he cuts him off at the top of the hill. It's not dirty riding, just making sure that Ramsey didn't have a wheel on him on the inside of that next left-hander.
It was one of those things like Ron Lachine used to do. It just looked cool, so you had to do it.
I've had people in schools, you know, just ask me, hey, what does that do? And I go, I don't know.
And here's Evan Lockridge, like we were talking about, two-time national champion from Loretta Lynn's just 1 week ago, making his pro national debut, and he's in good, fast company. That's Mike LaRocco up ahead of him.
Looks pretty good. The first time I saw him ride was at Mammoth Mountain, and you know, he got outclassed a little bit by McGrath and Hamlin and his short in the main event up there, but he looked good, 125 and 250 class. So it's a matter of time before he gets some experience and able to run up in the top 10 in this class.
Now Ramsey losing the spot to Ezra Lusk. Ezra Lusk that time went faster on the inside to pass a 4-stroke, but it was only a pass for third because Tim Ferry is second now. Carmichael just left your picture. There goes Ferry. Then here comes Lusk and Ramsey in third and fourth. And Lusk riding pretty well this summer, David, but just not getting very good starts. And in this day and age, third is not a good start if Ricky Carmichael's first. When we return, the pursuit of Ricky Carmichael continues from Millville, Minnesota.
With Ricky Carmichael.
Back to the action at Millville, Minnesota. Ricky Carmichael came into this moto needing a 15th place score better to clinch the 2002 AMA Chevy Trucks U.S. National Motocross Championships. And he's just out there making it easy for all the people in the pits and in the stands. He is winning and he is pulling away. Tim Ferry is second, Ezra Lusk is third. There's Nathan Ramsey, and then back to Sebastien Tortelli, who might have had the best run toward the end of the first moto, coming from way back to finish third.
It's good racing behind Carmichael. You know, if you just took Carmichael out of the picture, we'd have some great battles and a lot of suspense. And we still do anyway. You can focus on that, and you can focus on the fact that Ricky is closing in on that perfect season, and that is just making this series that much more historic.
It's not the equivalent of a 300 bowling game or a perfect game in baseball. It's like a 900 bowling game or a perfect week in baseball.
Yeah, I like what Freddie Spencer said, that to maintain that excellence week in and week out, because you look at some of the guys that have a great race and they come back the next week and do worse than they did, you know, before they had a great race. So it's really tough to be consistent at that level with this many guys sick of you winning.
When's the last time someone went 2-2 in one of these nationals?
Couldn't even tell you. And they're not even riding within themselves anymore because they're so preoccupied with what Ricky's doing.
Sebastien Tortelli in fifth. He is chasing Nathan Ramsey. Of course, that was second and third in our first moto, but now they've got the Yamaha of Tim Ferry and the Kawasaki of Ezra Lusk ahead of him. Check it out, Steve Lamson. Another bad day in what's been just a forgettable season for the former two-time 125 national champion. Now check out Mike LaRocco through the whoops here.
Well, this could be really bad. To see how he's getting all crooked. Pulls in the clutch, gets on the brakes really quick, and saves what could have turned out to be a big pop and then a rodeo ride and over the next loop and possibly a crash. If you watch an amateur race and you see a guy get that out of shape, it's usually a crash. LaRocco, all those years of experience we talked about, was able to turn that into just a little bit of lost time.
Right there, Tortelli was able to go from the outside to the inside in that big S-turn, make a pass on his teammate, and now he's moved up into fourth. He's got Ezra Lusk next in his sights. Tim Ferry, of course, is second. The leader, Ricky Carmichael.
Lusk, I'm very impressed with his progress. I mean, it doesn't seem like progress because he hasn't been able to win anything outside, but he's been very steady.
And who has been able to win?
I know, not very many people. Here's another look at the pass. Tortelli just jamming right down the inside. And Ramsey realized that a little late, but just like LaRocco did, he didn't go over the berm and lose more time. He just knew what was happening, got himself all back together by having his finger on the clutch, the brakes quickly, and just lost a little bit of time there, gave up the position. But going back to Lusk, it just seems like he's finally consistent, sticking to a plan. I don't know what his plan is, but whatever it is, it's working better for him, even though he makes a little mistake right there. This season has been very steady, and a steady outdoor season for Lusk means perhaps a very strong next year's Supercross season.
Of course, Lusk gone into the last couple Supercross seasons injured. If he can get through summer, the whole outdoor season healthy and consistent, hopefully that'll translate to some staying power in Supercross and maybe getting up there and challenging Ricky Carmichael. Now here's where he gets past.
Oh, and this happened to him in the first moto as well with Tim Ferry. He just comes out of the corner, he got sideways, he didn't have the momentum he needed, which changes timing. Then he hears Tortelli coming on his right. He tries to lean back in there just a little bit, but it just was too late.
So Tortelli moves into third place with Carmichael out front. Chad Watts just gave him the signal. A little ways to go to win this 250 National Championship, and that'll narrow down to just 4 motos to win in order to have a perfect 2002 AMA Chevy Trucks Outdoor Motocross season, something that has never, ever been done before in the history of motocross. Not in GPs, not in Supercross, not in 125 Supercross. It's certainly not in the Outdoor Nationals. And you know what? Some of the pressure's got to be building up on his mechanic, Chad Watts, to keep that bike running perfect. And Chad's with Robbie right now.
Chad, I know you're keeping your fingers crossed. It looks like Ricky's set up to win that championship again.
Well, I'll let you know in about 2.5, 3 more laps. But if it keeps going the way it is, yes. But it's not chance you just know. But
with this one in the bag, everybody's looking for that perfect season. A lot of pressure's been on Ricky. How are you feeling the pressure? A lot of Pepto-Bismol lately?
No, not actually. You know what? People are thinking they're putting the pressure on us. But if it happened, you know, great bit. If it didn't, it's been a stellar season so far.
But you'd like it to be perfect season, though.
Wouldn't you like a perfect life?
Chad Watts always telling you just the way it is. Now back to the battle for third. Lusk trying to rebound from that pass that Tortelli made as they go into the S-turns on top of Millville Mountain. Lusk coming down the inside. That is where Tortelli passed Ramsey, but he's able to shut the door. And right there, it looked like Tortelli was going to fall off the outside of that berm, and he gave up the inside of Lusk.
Now, Ezra just muscled his way right in there and just let his intentions be known. Hey, with all this throttle back here, you better be worried about me. And Tortelli eventually started worrying about what was going on behind him, trying to cover those lines, and Lusk was just too strong for that. And I like that Lusk has always been a strong finisher, but man, I'm just impressed with the way that his season is shaping up. You know, of course he's not near Carmichael, but he's applying pressure and he's riding better outdoors than he ever has.
Right there you saw where Tortelli had those problems in the corner, and Lusk right there to capitalize.
And it was Ezra that forced all of that as well. And he gets right up next to those banners over there. Tries to find a smooth line where he can charge down the hill hard, still get on the brakes and make that inside line. And it's all impressive, but kind of a moot point when you look at this.
Carmichael out front as the sun starts to set on Spring Creek Motocross Park. 2 laps to go for a national championship for Ricky Carmichael. Speedworld's presentation of AMA Motocross is brought to you by Honda, the company that defines performance in motorcycles, ATVs, and scooters. Honda, performance first. And by Suzuki, maker of innovative motorcycles and all-terrain vehicles. Well, Ricky Carmichael continues to pound out the laps in pursuit of excellence. David, when this season started, he said he wanted to take Honda back to the top. And if he puts this race away, it'll mean that Honda has won the last 20 AMA 250 motocross and supercross races. Unbelievable for the Red Riders.
And there's the guy, number 25, Nathan Ramsey, who won one of those, the Pontiac Supercross.
And he's getting challenged by Mike LaRocco right there. Down the hill they go. The factory connection rider is going to hold the inside line. A lot of passes there today. But LaRocco passes Ramsey, but is Honda back?
They're definitely back. And you know what? They never really went anywhere. And I'm going to have people all over my cage going, "Oh, well, you're a Honda guy." I'm not a Honda guy. I'm pretty neutral. Of course, I rode a Honda for a long time, so it seems like I'd be a Honda guy. But I believe in them. I know what they're capable of. The bike never suffered. They just kind of lacked heart and desire in the way that Ricky rides.
And they lacked Jeremy McGrath for a while there.
Yeah, that really hurt him for a while. But they've come back from that, and now people can say they feel like they bought a guy as John Dowd goes down right there before the sand whoop. But you get what you pay for, and I mean, it wasn't like they went after Ricky. Ricky was looking for something else as well. So they came together at the right time.
Ricky Carmichael just half a lap away from winning what would be his 6th straight AMA Outdoor National Motocross Championship. third 250 title in a row, 8th altogether. There's just so many records. They're starting to run
Every time he
together.
races, it's another one, you know. He's coming in on Bob Hanna's all-time 250 record. That'll probably be tied next week, if not broken.
That would be 27 250 national wins, and Carmichael's done it in 3 years.
Yeah, just, you know what, and I like what Brock Glover said at the top of the show as well. It's not that the competition is lacking. I'm looking at who he's racing against and thinking, man, these guys are serious, and they're good, and it's pretty deep. He works harder than they do, and he prepares harder, and he expects more out of himself, and expects more out of Honda, and I know what Honda expects out of their riders. I was one of them.
Carmichael putting the finishing touches on his 20th straight moto win. A little further back, you see Ezra Lusk battling with Sebastien Tortelli. This would effectively be the battle for second overall. If Lusk can hold on and finish ahead of Tortelli, that would give him second overall here in the 250 class. You just saw Tim Ferry flash by your picture. Now here comes Lusk. It looks like he should have no problem holding off Tortelli. So here comes Carmichael. He's on full cruise control. You hear the crowd cheering him on. Much different than back when he started with Honda. He truly is the king of outdoor motocross. Ricky Carmichael, another victory in the bag. Now, Lusk, just another corner to go to hold off Sebastien Tortelli. This would give him second overall, third in the moto. Like you said, a fine, consistent ride for Ezra Lusk. Showing that consistency, finishing second overall, holding off Tortelli in a great second race battle. Taking a look at the results, Carmichael, Ferry, Lusk, Tortelli, Mike LaRocco, 2 bad starts. His best he can do is a 5th here in the second moto. Nathan Ramsey, Robbie Raynard, Sean Hamlin, Stefan Roncada, and John Dowd will round out your top 10 in the first moto. Let's go down to Robbie Floyd with the undefeated, undisputed champion, Ricky Carmichael.
Well, another overall win for Ricky Carmichael here at Millville. This place has been pretty good to you, Ricky. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot, man. It feels so good. The Honda's working exceptional today. The Dunlop tires were good. It's really sandy, so you got to have some good good meat on that rear end. I'll tell you, everything is awesome this season, and you know, with the sweep and everything, I'm really, really excited.
Did anything go wrong for you out there? I mean, you got a pretty good start. Not number 1, but, you know, top 3.
Everything was awesome, and a whole shot would have been good, but I got into first place pretty quick. And man, I'm ecstatic, man. I mean, it's so good, and Timmy rode really good this season, and it's over now, so you know we can all relax, or I can at least.
Well, taking a look at the AMA Chevy Trucks point standings, Ricky Carmichael, 500 points. That doesn't even look right. He indeed is perfect. Tim Ferry second, 114 points back, and he is with Robbie down in the winner's circle.
You blitzed into second place. Did you have anything left in the tank? You went by those guys pretty fast.
Yeah, I felt really good energy-wise. It's just Carmichael had a 7-second lead or a little more, and you know I really just couldn't quite make up that much time. And I just tried to ride strong and stay ahead of the guys behind me, and try to finish out the moto strong. And
what does that do to you mentally when you're that far behind that early?
Main thing, I just try to stay the same. You know, with Carmichael, he's been the fastest all year, and it's kind of hard to make up 7 seconds on a guy like that. So without getting out front, you just want to keep the same pace as him.
Well, almost easier said than done. The first thing is to get out front with him. Let's talk to our second place rider. That's Ezra Lusk. He's down in the winner's circle with Robbie right now.
Yogi, a great ride out there. You and Sebastien battling out, but it's good to see you on the podium.
Yeah, it's great. I worked hard during this last couple weeks off, and I really wanted to keep my streak going after Washougal. I was pretty disappointed with my finishes, and I wanted to keep this fire going because I'm really, really, really looking forward to Supercrosses next year. And it was a great fight with Sebastien for sure. And I want to congratulate him and his wife. They just had a baby boy this week. That is awesome. And God bless them, Stephanie at home.
Well, pretty soon, Sebastien Tortelli will be saying congratulations to Ezra Lusk and his wife, Jennifer. They are expecting as well, too. Now, time for the presentation of the number 1 plate. You see all the Honda people down there, Cliff White, Ron Wood, Chad Watts. Here's the AMA's Duke Finch.
Ricky, what can I say? 20 straight motos. This is a record that no one can ever beat. Matching it's the best they can do. Proud to give you another number 1 plate. You're a champion. We're proud to have you wear the crown good.
Thanks. I'd like to thank all you guys for coming out today. Thanks a lot, Duke. Heck of a job. You guys are really making it more and more professional every year. You guys, hats off to you. You guys are on the road all the time just as much as we are. At home, away, more than we are. And thanks for all you guys' hard work and the efforts to make us good tracks. And to all the fans out here, these guys deserve a hand too. And thank you, and we'll see you guys next year. Thanks.
Well, another #1 plate for Ricky Carmichael, but you get the feeling he's going to just keep on wearing #4.